Alrighty guys, welcome back to 5-9 Gaming. Thank you for joining us to another episode of Dragon Ball Legends fan-made cards. Today we're going to be doing it a little bit differently in a different kind of style. So as you guys do know, Cell did just come out. We know his kit, his typing, all that good stuff, all his tags. But we did not want to discredit you guys, especially those of you who went out of your way to go ahead and make a personalized your fan-made creations, right? We wanted to go over your submissions and stuff like that, so I still want to say thank you guys. And this is our way of still saying thank you, so we can go ahead and do kind of like a what-if Cell compared to what we got, right? So that's the whole point of this kind of like video and stuff like that, right? So that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Our first submission is from Taxivator6000. Thank you for your submission. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So what is their color? Red. That's very interesting to me. So that right off the bat tells me that you kind of want to replace Revival Cell, and I understand that. He's a little bit old, so I could have seen that, but I'm actually really happy that we got purple because we really needed a purple on the team. Considering that Android 21 purple is very like outdated and stuff like that. But I do agree. I think we need both tags, or both colors is what I meant to say. And then so what is their typing? So melee, so you got, honestly, that was like right on the money right there, right? Melee, both of them are melee typing. And what tags is this character on? So regeneration, powerful opponent, Cell Saga Z, Android, absorption, and future. And he does have all of those right here. So I think none of those are excluded. So now let's go ahead and dive into stats. So what are the stats? So HP, 2.3 million. This is at 6 stars, by the way. 2.3 million. Blast attack, 238,000, strike attack 259,000. Okay, that's pretty juicy. Blast defense 161,000 and strike defense 168,000. All right, so I've already seen some gameplay of this guy, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, he's a little bit squishy, right? I would have maybe cranked up the defense numbers a little bit. I don't know. I really like these numbers right here, right? I can't exactly see the exact numbers that he has, but I think his defenses definitely are something that he's more weaker in, but he definitely makes up for it with the rest of his kit in a way, right? Because he has paragraphs and paragraphs of kit, so I'm interested to see what you did with his kit. So what is the character's Z ability at 6 stars? Tag regeneration, powerful opponent, or androids, base strike attack and defense plus 35%. That's like 35% is like a 14-star Z ability right there. So that's pretty good. And on top of it, you get an extra 11% to your base HP. That could be that legit could be a contender for best Z ability in the game. This actually, I'm very curious to see, would it be 40% at 14 stars? Because that's absolutely insane. What is it over here? So over here at 6 stars, it's 30%, right? But at 14 stars, it's 35%. But it pretty much, honestly, once again, like almost on the money right here, right? Regeneration, Android, powerful opponent, base strike, attack, and defense, but just 30% for the 6 stars. So honestly, very realistic. The HP plus 11%, that would have been absolutely so juicy, man. I don't necessarily want to say that would be broken and that would absolutely make him busted beyond belief, but that would have just been so juicy, right? It would have enticed everyone to try to get him to 6 stars, at least Android users. So what 2 cards do they hold? 1 normal strike and 1 heavy bleed. Okay, I kind of like that, getting that damage over time, but I'm not. I feel like he would need like a unique strike animation to show that he can actually get that bleed off, right? Instead of just the regular just punches and stuff like that. But I would have definitely liked that too. That would have been cool as long as they made it look cool. So green card as well. So let's go ahead and look at the special skill. So restores 30 ki, damage inflicted plus 30% for 15 timer counts, and increases card draw speed for 2 levels. 2 levels. And it knocks back the enemy. It can be comboed with any other arts card. Okay, so this would probably be like the Revival Cells green card, right? Where he kind of he has that like that long range beam, right? I really did like that a lot. I'm not gonna lie, because in case you guys didn't know or you guys don't remember, that beam was able to counter Rising Rush, right? It overrides the Rising Rush just like how a blue card would. So I honestly, that sounds juicy compared to his green card that he actually got, which is like it's a charging forward one with blast armor and stuff like that, right? But his actual green card is actually pretty juicy as well. I think both of these are good. The blue card, on the other hand, all right, Taxivator, you're getting a little juicy right here. For me, I love AoE damage. If I can get a unit that can just hit everyone on your team, if it can hit the main units and your the units that are on standby, that is like a massive like selling point for me. So 50% to special move damage on the AoE, right? And when activated, and it restores your vanish on activation. So it's a little bit flip-flop right here, right? So in the actual kit, he gets vanish back on his special, or on his skill, right? On the special skill right here. Vanish engage restoration by 70% over here. But over here, he gets it on his blue card, which I kind of like that too. Either or. I think those are both very, very good, right? For the AoE damage, I assume that it would just be like an energy ball, like a key blast or something like that, right? Instead of like a charging forward one. And then, so ultimate now. Let's look at the ultimates. So 100% to ultimate damage when activated. Lock in your opponents. I think that's what I'm kind of like. I honestly, I don't know if it's just me. But locking in is definitely, like, I feel like if you have a unit that can lock in, that's automatically 100% makes them viable, right? Like, if you even look at a lot of the units that we've been getting, like Yajirobe, when someone is under 50%, he locks in. You look at Gokua, he locks in hybrid units, right? You look at even Topo, right? Topo, he's able to lock in for 3 timer counts. He's able to get like at least 1 attack off, or maybe even get a rush, slip in a rush. So locking in is absolutely juicy. This is like Topo's ability, and it negates endurance. That's something that's a must-have, right? If he didn't have that, I think I would be upset. He actually does have it on his actual ultimate skill tier, right? So he basically nullifies it right here. And then so let's look at their main abilities now. So it ends now. Okay, I like it. Draws the ultimate Solar Kamehameha, which is, you know, he even got the he even got the Solar Kamehameha. I think that's to be expected, right? That's just like his move, right? His iconic move. Restores ki by 70, bro, compared to 30. Wow, that's, you know, I honestly kind of wish he got that, dude. You know, they gave like Zenkai Blue Trunks that insane like main ability where he gets like the blue card and 70 ki, and that thing hits like a truck. So I can understand the 70 ki, damage inflicted plus 30% cannot be canceled, and negate attribute disadvantage for 30 timer. 30, bro. This man did not. Okay, so this guy, he made him like in a way so he could counter Future Gohan, right? That's what I'm saying right here, is that so that way you can absolutely stomp on Future Gohan's head right here, especially with this main ability. And it restores 40% HP, bro. Honestly, that's not even like unrealistic. Look at how much HP he restores on his actual main ability. 30%. Jesus Christ. That's I think, again, both of these are just absolutely disgusting, because even right here you get minus 80% to health restoration, right? So that's really, both of these are honestly pretty damn good. So now let's look at the unique abilities, and as you can see right here on the left hand side, look at these uniques, bro. Look at this. This is all the unique. This is the uniques right here, bro. Okay, so let's take a look at Tax Evader's uniques. So the first one, when this character enters the battlefield, damage inflicted plus 100%. All right, good start. And damage inflicted to tag hybrid Saiyans plus 50%. Okay, reduces damage received by 30%, and reduces damage received from tag hybrid Saiyans by 30%. So if you're going against a full hybrid team, that's a 60% damage cut and 150% damage inflicted, which is damn good. You also get restores ki by 30. I'm assuming like upon entry, right? And it restores HP by 10% upon entry 3 times. And you draw a strike card, dude. This would be an insane unit. So let's compare it to what he gets right here. Just at least his damage buff, right? Because I don't want to read all of this. He gets the 30% to damage inflicted against tag hybrid Saiyan, 30% plus another 20%, right, for hybrid Saiyan or Saiyan. So he's getting like a 50% against hybrids right here. So, honestly, like once again, really, really accurate right here. I think you took I think you made like a really, really good kit here that it could also be easily be called realistic as well, with just a little bit more of a boost, right? A little bit more of a boost, and I do like that a lot. I don't want to see exactly just picture perfect kits. I want to see a little bit of brokenness. I'm not gonna lie, because these are fan-made kits. So what is the second unique? When performing a cover change, reduce damage received by 10%, and you heal 20% of damage received after the. Ooh, okay. I mean, staying true to the regeneration name, right? You can, oh my god, so another 10% to your damage cut. So you could possibly be getting 70% damage cut, and then you're healing 20%. Dude, Jesus Christ, you built this man like a tank. Like an absolute tank that has like the largest cannon, bro. That's, you know, oh my god, like not even trying to be sus there. Okay. So, and then let's see what else. When using a strike arts card, you gain 15 ki. Alright, so I think that's like a trend with these units, right? They're gaining ki every time they're using a card. And increased damage inflicted by 20% up to 60. And resets when characters switch. Oh my god, bro. So you're getting another 60% right here? Another 60%? I'm honestly surprised that you didn't give him card draw, but I guess you do give him card draw on the green card, right? You get it 2 levels on the green card. Well, over here, he just gets it naturally, right? He gets it right here. Just increase card draw speed by 1 level when he's just... That's just part of his unique, right? Okay. And then, so after that, when using a Blast Arts, you also gain 10 ki. And then reduce next combo damage received by 10 up to 30%. Resets when character is switched out. Wow. Okay, dude. Honestly, I like this kit a lot. Keep in mind, this is very important, though. This resets when character is switched out, so I don't think this is absolutely broken, right? You have to use 3 blast cards, and you have to use 3 strike cards to get him, like, fully, like, built up right here. So you want to keep him in as long as you can and stuff like that, but you're not going to permanently have that. And when HP reaches 0, restores 30% of max HP. That's kind of what I wanted from this guy, I'm not going to lie. I didn't necessarily want a revival unit because they already have revival cell. But I kind of did want an endurance unit because I think regeneration and androids, I think they need an endurance unit. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I do think they need an endurance unit and stuff like that. I'm surprised you didn't give them anything to counter revival though, because over here I think that's like the key difference here, right? I think you were actually pretty spot on right here. But the key difference is that he actually has a unique gauge, and he has like a counter for the revival units right here, right? So while this character is on the battlefield, and he kills, or he takes away the first life of a revival unit, he's able to do all this. Reduce enemy Dragon Balls by 4, which is massive. Reduces ki by 100, and inflicts attribute downgrade minus 150% to ki recovery for 3 timer counts. All that stuff is, like, I think that's very, very crucial why this unit's going to be, like, relevant and stuff like that, right? But again, like I said, he's really, really squishy. You have to, like, really, really build him correctly. And so, describe their LF. So we already know what his LF actually looks like, but this is like one of my favorite parts of this. So a what if LF. That already had me hooked. Much like future Gohan, he performs the Kamehameha, which overtakes the opponent and destroys the Earth and the solar system. The victory pose is just him doing his iconic head tap and him saying, "Is that all the strength you could muster?" Dude, I could completely picture this. Like, it just pans out. Right, it pans out on the Kamehameha, the solar Kamehameha. You see the Earth just absolutely implode. You just get a picture of him just floating in space, and he just hits you with that voice line. That would be, oh my goodness, bro, that would be so clean. I wish they were more ballsy with the LFs, especially like the villain LFs, because they're pretty much like all what ifs, right? Because the villains don't really like they're not getting these finishers like that. And so, what made you decide the character to make the character the way you made it? Hybrids. he only put hybrid Saiyans. I agree, man. I completely agree. 100% understandable. And what role do you see the character in their teams, and how do they fit the current and potential future meta that you see? Okay, so he definitely have a very good place on all of his teams. Plus, his anti-hybrid Saiyans buffs would make him significantly effective in the current meta. Yeah, definitely going to be a unit that's going to have a lot of relevance, right? So going forward, I feel like as if he'll age well, seeing as Legends loves to buff hybrids 24/7. It's funny that you say this too, because with this guy, with this damn cell, we actually got a new Gohan, bro, and he's actually pretty good. All right, so that being said, once again, thank you for your submission. I'm gonna go and pass this on to the next creator. Thank you, Tax Evader 6000.
Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Swift, and as you guys know, we are going to be going over some of the fan-made kits for LF Cell. Now, obviously, LF Cell already came out, so I thought it'd be kind of cool. We got the fan-made kit over here on the right, and then we got the actual kit over here on the left, and we can kind of go over the fan-made kit, and, you know, here and there, we can make some comparisons to the actual kit. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump in. The submission that I chose is from Polarizer372. We really appreciate it. And yeah, let's do it. So he wants him to be a purple range unit. He got the color right. That's cool. Obviously, LF Cell is a melee unit, but that's, you know, not a big deal. Tags, Android, Regen, Future, Powerful Opponent, Absorption. Sounds about right. Now these are going to be the stats: fully soul boosted at 6 stars, 2.18 million health, 250k strike attack, 230k blast attack, 145k strike defense, and 147k blast defense. Now, if you look at the actual stats in game over on this side, he's not too far off actually. Yeah, literally, he's pretty damn close, so that's cool. The Z ability at 6 stars, 35% to blast attack and defense to regen powerful opponent and androids. Okay. Obviously, like I said, he is a melee unit, so it's basically the same Z ability except blast attack. It's strike attack. And yeah, so he's going to hold double blast card. Okay. And I guess this one has a seal, which is nice. What do the arts cards do? Now, I thought this was kind of cool. So he gave the strike card kind of a, some bonus damage against hybrid. So basically, from my understanding, once you activate a strike card, you're gaining 15% to damage inflicted against hybrid Saiyan to self for 20 counts. Cannot be canceled. So basically, as soon as you activate a strike card, you're getting extra buffs against hybrid Saiyan, which is nice. The blast card has the anti-armor effect, which is cool. 70% to blast damage inflicted against enemies' armor. I think this is something we need to see more of in the game. Not that, not that blast armor is super OP and, there's really not an insane amount of units that have blast armor, but I think there's only a couple units that have this type of anti-armor buff, so I think this would be cool to see more of in the game. Blue card, perfect combination, deals massive impact damage, plus 25% to blue card inflicted for 3 counts, and he also gives him blast armor on this. That's a decent blue card, nothing too OP. It's nice to have blast armor, and it's nice to, buff up your own blue card right before you land the blue cards. That's nice. Okay, green card, instant transmission. Okay, restores ki by 40. Randomly draws 2 new cards when you have 3 or fewer cards. That's nice. Helps prolong combos and stuff like that. Now, so it is an instant transmission. So he evades enemy attacks, except rush, and teleports into close range. That's kind of cool. Reduces own vanishing gauge by 50% and inflicts enemies with no switching for 3 counts. Interesting. So I'm assuming he gave him the reduce own vanishing gauge because he didn't want this green card to be too overpowered. Because it seems like a really good green card. You pop the green, you restore 40 ki, you're drawing cards, you're locking the enemies in. So it makes sense, you reduce your own vanishing gauge. That way it's not, too overpowered. I'm assuming this is the ultimate right here. Solar Kamehameha deals supreme impact damage, applies the following effects upon activation, nullifies own. Okay, so he goes type neutral for 5 counts. He gains a 50% alt damage for 5 counts. And he applies attribute upgrade minus 50% to enemies sustained damage cut effects for 5 counts. So basically, if the enemy has any type of damage cut, he's going to be blasting right through that with minus 50% to damage cut. And also nullifies enemies, restores own health when it reaches 0 effects. Nice. So I'm assuming that's endurance. So yeah, the ultimate will nullify endurance and also blast armor on the ultimate. Okay. Main ability. I'll destroy you in this planet. Draws the alt card, obviously. Restores own health by 40%. That is a big number. Restores own health by 40% and ki by 60. Plus 30% to damage inflicted for 20 counts. Minus 30% to damage received for 20 counts. And obviously cancels enemies cancels enemies attribute upgrades. Wow. That is really good, actually. So basically, you pop this main ability, you get your alt, you restore health by 40%, ki by 60, you get a damage buff, you basically get a damage cut, and then you're canceling all of your enemies' buffs. Wow, that's pretty cool. First unique, none of you will leave this place, applies the following effects when battle starts. 70% to damage inflicted cannot be canceled, plus 50% to vanish gauge recovery. Wow. Okay, so that kind of goes hand in hand with, the green card where you're reducing your own vanishing gauge, and then you come down here and he's got plus 50% to vanishing gauge. So that kind of helps, neutralize that a little bit. Minus 40% to damage received, cannot be canceled. So basically just a permanent damage cut, a permanent damage buff, and a permanent 60% to ki recovery. And none of this can be canceled except for the Vanish Gauge recovery. So that's interesting. That seems pretty good so far. The following effects occur every 5 timer counts while this character is on the battlefield. Restores own ki by 20. Inflicts all enemies with downgrade plus 50% to damage received for 15 counts. Wow. Wow. So every 5 counts, you're getting 20 ki. Kind of like a Kid Buu type thing where you're just getting ki for nothing. And then this is kind of the crazy part in my opinion. Like the ki is like, you know, that's nice, but it's not a game breaker. But this right here, every 5 counts, you're inflicting all enemies with plus 15% to damage received. So realistically, you could just try to stay in with Cell, and you know, after a certain amount of time, the entire enemy team is going to be taking so much damage. That's interesting. The second unique, Ultimate Android, plus 50% to damage inflicted against Hybrid Saiyans, cannot be canceled. Makes sense. Reduces damage received from Hybrid Saiyans by 30%, cannot be canceled. Makes sense. The 50% damage inflicted is really nice, and I gotta say he's got some other damage cuts in his kit, so the 30% is actually really nice when you factor in all the other damage cuts that are in his kit. So that's cool. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield, plus 40% to damage for 15 counts. Reduces damage, yep, here's another damage cut. Reduces damage received by 30% for 15 counts. And then minus 10 to blast cost for 15 counts. Increases own card draw speed by 1 for 10 counts. Okay, this is actually a really good unique right here. Describe the LF. Cell smirks and charges the opponent only to instant transmission behind them and chop them in the neck, then in the knees, and then in the gut, and then throws them away from him, and then throws them away from himself. As they catch themselves and stop to catch their breath, he laughs menacingly as he charges the Solar Kamehameha. He then yells die and fires it after the animation of them being hit. He does the pose where he opens his arm and leans forward while smirking. That sounds actually really cool. Okay, what made you decide to make the character the way you made it? This character will be a staple for every team he is viable on due to his amazing damage output, potential disruption with Seal Card, and potential to change up fighting with instant transmission. It will be fun to use him because of this reasons as well, giving the player a chance to make plays with the instant transmission. He is the hybrid slayer we all want, and he does good damage against any tag, especially blast armor. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we'll kind of look over the actual kit here in a second, but yeah, he's really meant to, you know, be a hybrid slayer. Obviously, like I said, he fought Gohan, so it makes sense. What role do you see the character in their teams, and how do they fit the current and potential future meta? His role will be a damage dealer for now and the future. Hopefully his lock-in and blast armor can help him, along with the reduced damage. He fills the much-needed purple slot on androids, and will probably be the primary for future and regen as well. Okay. Definitely makes sense. I agree. You know, this is the much-needed purple unit for androids. I think him being purple is very, very nice. Honestly, if they would have dropped this cell and he was anything other than purple, I feel like a lot of people would have skipped him. So definitely think it's nice that he's purple. And we can kind of talk about, I'm not going to go over the entire, you know, actual kit, but we can kind of talk about some of the similarities between, you know, the fan-made kit and the actual kit. And this is kind of one of the reasons I chose Polarizer's submission, was because I did notice some similarities. So, obviously, like I said he wanted him to be purple. He is purple. He is a melee unit, not a blast unit, but that's fine. Really similar stats, like I said. And then as you get down into the fan-made kit, he has a lot of buffs against hybrids. He gets you know, that vanish back in the actual kit, which is kind of nice. You know, he like he explained, he is really just a hybrid slayer, and you know, that's what he's gonna be. He fulfills that purple role on androids. And honestly, I mean, even this right here, 50% to damage inflicted against hybrids, reduces damage received from hybrids. I mean, a lot of anti-hybrid buff. You look over here, 30% to damage inflicted against hybrids cannot be canceled. 20% to damage inflicted to hybrids or Saiyan cannot be canceled. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, and, you know, it's meant to be because, as we all know, you know, Cell fought Gohan. So, you know, I think the developers knew what they were doing here. You know, they know that hybrids have been, you know, running PvP for so long, and we desperately needed a purple androids unit, and this Cell is just like the perfect opportunity to drop an anti-hybrid unit. So overall, like I said, a lot of similarities between these two kits. And yeah, I think that about covers it. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. I will go ahead and pass it on to the next guy. Later.
I'm here, and yeah, since as of the recording of this video, the Cell is not on dbc.space, I'm going to use the game over there to show you the real stats, the real kits, but I'm picking a submission by Bead, I can't read. Redeeming Saiyan. And I mainly picked that based off of what I would Cell like to look like. And yeah, let's just get right into it. First of all, thank you, Bead, for your submission. What is Cell's color? In his opinion, he is red and a range type. I wanted Cell to be red. You're saying, but you got Merge Zamasu on region. Yes, but I do not want to play Merge Zamasu. I don't know. He doesn't fit my playstyle, so I would have liked another good red unit. And also, it's always good to have variety. And still, it's 2 units that are both LFs, so they're not very attainable. But yeah, range type, melee type, that wouldn't have been my main concern. He's on Android Future, region, absorption, powerful opponent. Obviously, that's pretty straightforward. So, any tags that we're missing? Nope, we're not. Okay, so his stats. Let's have a quick look at his stats. Power level is 1.28 million at 6 stars. This over there is at 14 stars maxed out, so keep that in mind. He's got 2.15 million HP, so about 350k less than here in game. He has 214k strike attack, 217k blast attack. I feel like that could be just a tad higher, but yeah, I do not know how it played out on 6-star Cell here, since I haven't summoned on him yet. Strike and blast defense are pretty similar, so all in all, he is a range type, but the attack and defense stats are pretty equal, I would have to say. So now let's have a quick look at his Z ability. At 6 stars, he gets 32% to region, powerful opponent and androids, blast attack and defense. That's pretty much the same thing right here. I'm assuming at 6 stars he also has 30 or 32% for region and androids and powerful opponent. It's just that he's a melee type, so he has strike attack. I think that's cool. The arts cards for him are pretty normal. However, Beat said, hey, let's give him blast damage up and a sustain damage up blast card. So he holds 2 blast cards. The real Cell holds a strike and a blast. And the strike card is also damage up. Now here come the interesting ones. And those are the green card, the special skill, Impeccable Aura. 25% to special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. Wait, that's a special move, my bad. Restores own vanishing gauge by 50%. He was pretty close because this Cell restores its own vanishing gauge by 70%. The only downside is that this is a melee green card, so you need to actually land it and it doesn't combo anything. Now, what else does he do? He draws a blast card and 50% to next strike or blast damage cannot be stacked. So you use this in a combo, you vanish. You can pretty much use that like Kid Buu, just that it restores like 10% less or 20% less vanish gauge. And it doesn't draw a card on Kid Buu, but you know, that's pretty cool. I would have liked that as well. Now the blue card, perfect attack. This one is also a melee type, same as he's in the game. 25% to special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts upon activation. That's nice. Seals 1 enemy card for 10 counts. It's also very helpful because, I mean, we all know how annoying Beerus still can be on a God Key setup. So, yeah, thanks for that. I'm kind of glad he doesn't, but then again, I'm playing Regent, so I would have liked that as, you know, as my card, but not as playing against him, if that makes sense. Okay, so now the ultimate. We have Solar Kamehameha in the game, and we have the perfect finisher in Beat's submission. 35% to ultimate damage for 3 counts, 25% ultimate against hybrids, and reduces enemy ki by 80, and minus 100 to sustain damage cuts. The one thing that it doesn't do is nullify endurance, which I feel a modern unit should do on their ultimate. I think that's pretty normal, so this is something I'm missing and I like better obviously on the purple cell. And also the purple cell just has more damage against hybrids, but we will get into the main ability and into the uniques right now. So main ability, playtime is over. Draw the ultimate cards. Obviously he restores HP by 15 and ki by 30. Seals enemies blast arts for 5 counts and nullifies endurance. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's why. Never mind, then I'll take everything back, but he nullifies endurance for 20 counts with any attack for 20 counts. So it doesn't matter. Did I just say 20 counts twice? Now I said it 3 times. 20 counts. 4. So yeah, this character can just be like DKP or hit, just attack or tap somebody to death out of their endurance. Now the actual main ability is draw the Kamehameha, restores HP by 30 and ki by 30, so a little bit like more health. Minus 50 to sustain damage cut for 20 counts, and yeah, minus 80 to health restoration for all enemies, which is supremely annoying. So you want to throw that ultimate out as fast as possible, or rather use that main ability as fast as possible. You don't even need to land the ult. Okay, now let's have a look at the first unique right here. We have the Flawless Body, and this one is life or death battle. No, this one is like a whole essay. You need to scroll like twice. But let's start with the submission. 35% to blast damage against hybrid Saiyans. There we go. Reduce damage received by 50% for 2 counts every time this character uses a strike, special move, or ultimate. Okay, so no blasts, but he's a range type. When he enters the battlefield, reduces damage by 25, randomly draws 1 card, which is always nice, but only if he restores ki as well, or you have a unit that restores ki on switch out. 50% to damage inflicted, cannot be stacked but also not cancelled, nullifies abnormal conditions for 15 counts, and card draw speed for 10, which is awesome. And yeah, what we can see here, he also has card draw speed when the battle starts though, and it can't be cancelled, minus 3 to arts cost, so that's pretty cool, which I like. He also has, I like that he has damage inflicted against hybrids and on another 20% damage inflicted against hybrids or Saiyan. So that's a lot of damage. Beat only gave him blast damage, which is understandable, but I prefer the damage, of course, especially because hybrids are running so rampant, you need everything you can get. Let's have a look at unique number 2. Oh, the one thing here that I find interesting in that cell is, by the way, he reduces enemies Dragon Balls by 4 if he pops a revival, reduces ki by 100, but also minus 150% to ki recovery for 3 timers. So I guess if somebody has like a ki recovery buff, they also kind of get nullified, but also you charge ki for 2 seconds and then you lose ki because it's minus 50. Need to test that. Now, unique number 2. Another long one. Jesus. Let's have a quick look. Over here. Pinnacle of Superiority. Applies the following effects to self every time an arts card is drawn while this character is on the battlefield. He restores 10 ki. 15% to damage inflicted for 15 counts. And every time he draws a card, that's insane. The following effects occur upon landing a strike or blast. 15% to ultimate damage for 20 counts. Inflicts enemy with plus 15 damage received. Okay, so he gets damage inflicted and he inflicts the opponent with damage received. That's about 30% damage more. Imagine that's a hybrid. He also gets those anti-hybrid buffs from the first passive here. 35%. That's crazy. All right. What else? While this character is on the battlefield, when causing a character to pop the revive, they revive with 20% less HP. Yeah, that's something I would have expected as well, which, I mean, they changed it to, you know, minus 4 Dragon Balls plus the minus 100 ki and all that stuff. But it's cool. I like that this cell has a blast cover change that, well, it can be comboed with the green and the blue card. And he has the unique gauge, but you already know that. So let's have a look at the motivation. First of all, describe the LF. Cell kicks the opponent with brutal force, then elbows them down to the ground. If it doesn't activate the LF, Cell shoots the enemy with his perfect shot from above. If it does, Cell will descend from the air, charge up, and then fire the Solar Kamehameha at the opponent. It would look similar to LR Incel's active skill, Dokkan players, and would destroy everything just like it does in Dokkan. Afterwards, he would regenerate with that iconic evil grin on his face. That's, well, iconic is, I guess, the best way to describe it. Now, what made you decide to make the character the way you made it? If there's anyone that's going to be majorly counting hybrids, it has to be Cell. I agree. With this high damage reduction in his blast armor to avoid getting shredded by Zenkai Gohan, and an anti-revival passive to counter both revival Gohans. He could also be purple, right on the money right there, because that's what benefit his teams the most. Yeah, because we're not just talking regen, we're talking androids, we're talking PO, we're talking future, so all that stuff. Yeah. But if we're sticking to the ultimate hybrids counter, he would be red. That's exactly why I picked him. So it would counter future Gohan. Plus, there have been some mechanics we haven't seen a lot recently, like transforming Rosé's buffs. Whenever he draws a card, with everything in mind, I tried not to make his damage increases too high so that he wouldn't be way too much damage and he's shredding everyone with one blast card, while also not making his damage too weak when he enters the battlefield and he hasn't built up his damage yet. Also, I tried not to make his healing too crazy because of, regen. Now, you could make it crazy. It's fine. So, the role in the meta. I see the Cell as a big glass cannon. It would take some time for him to get that giant level of damage like Evolution Blue Vegeta, but once he gets there, the damage will match and could slightly surpass his damage. Damage. I didn't want to make him a tanky of regen and all healing he's getting by himself. Most of his teams are or can be built more blast oriented, so I decided to make him blast to better work with the characters like LF Kid Buu and Full Power Frieza. LF Piccolo for me also. Plus, it's been a bit since androids got a direct buff, unlike TOP 17 or 18, where they're more focused for Universal Survival Saga. So yeah, there you have it. That was my suggestion, my pick, but it's not my submission. The submission is by Bede, aka Redeeming Saiyan. Thanks for everybody who sent their submissions on short notice. Of course, we can't go through all of them, but please send us your submissions again next time. I hope you enjoyed this video and the other creators' picks as well. If you did, make sure to go down to the description, leave a like, drop a comment, which of the LF cells is your favorite, and subscribe if you're new. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Twitch, all the good stuff, and we'll see you in the next ones. 5line Gamers, disassemble. Wait, that's my outro. Bye, gamers.